Have you ever watched the person you love become a complete stranger right before your eyes? The air in our pristine Chicago condo was thick and cold, the silence broken only by the faint hum of the dishwasher. I slid the crumpled piece of paper across our marble island, the word Sunset Motel facing up. It was a cheap, flimsy receipt dated from the night before, night she was supposedly at a work dinner across town. Her hand, the one holding a wine glass, started to tremble just a little. Tiny, almost imperceptible tremor that sent a seismic shock through my entire world. That's when I knew. I didn't know the who or the why, but I knew the what. And in that moment, watching her perfect composure crack, I felt something inside me die, only to be replaced by something much, much colder. If you genuinely enjoy our stories, please subscribe to the channel, tell us where you're from, and what time it is right now. It's always fascinating to know how far our story flows. For 10 years, Jenna was my everything. We'd built a life from nothing, to kids from the suburbs of Illinois who declawed our way into a high-rise life in downtown Chicago. I was a project manager in construction, she was in high-end real estate. We were a team, a power couple, or so I thought. The betrayal didn't start with that motel receipt. It started with whispers, with little changes I'd tried to ignore. Her phone, once left carelessly on the counter, was now permanently attached to her hand, screen down. Late-night client emergencies became more frequent. When I'd try to hold her at night, she'd flinch, pulling away with a sigh, murmuring she was exhausted. She started criticizing me, little digs about my clothes, my friends, the way I loaded the dishwasher. It was like living with a ghost who looked like my wife, but radiated a chilling indifference. The woman who once looked at me with adoration now looked through me, her eyes focused on a future I clearly wasn't a part of. The villains in this story, her and him, felt untouchable. They moved through their secret world with an arrogance that was breathtaking, laughing at a joke I wasn't in on, sharing a life I was funding. One night I found her asleep on the couch, her phone unlocked in her lap. The name on the screen was Mark. The messages were a dagger to the heart. He has no idea one of hers read. His reply, "Good, keep it that way. I can't wait to have you again." I sank to the floor, the air leaving my lungs, the weight of it all crushing me. The man who built skyscrapers felt like he was crumbling to dust on his own living room floor. That was the night the loyal husband died. A new man began to form in the wreckage, a man who understood that the only way to fight fire was with fire. I didn't confront her. Instead, I saved every message, every photo. I hired a private investigator who tracked their meetings at the Sunset Motel off Lincoln Avenue and another cheap hotel near O'Hare. I opened a new bank account and started quietly moving my own funds. I met with the best divorce attorney in Cook County, a shark named Ms. Albright, who listened to my story with a grim, knowing smile. The plan was simple. Let them get comfortable. Let them think I was the same oblivious fool, and then I would take everything. The trap was set for our 10th anniversary party, a lavish affair Jenna insisted on throwing at a rooftop bar overlooking the city. She wanted to project an image of success, of a perfect marriage. It was the perfect stage for her downfall. All our friends, family, and her important real estate colleagues were there. She was radiant in a silver dress, laughing and holding my hand for the cameras, whispering how much she loved me. The hypocrisy was nauseating. Midway through the party, I took the microphone for a toast. I started by talking about our 10 years, about loyalty, about trust. Then my tone shifted. A marriage is a partnership, I said, my voice echoing across the silent rooftop. But some partnerships are built on lies. I looked directly at Jenna, her smile faltering. Then I looked at Mark, her smirking colleague, standing near the bar. For instance, I recently learned about a very different kind of partnership, one that involves secret meetings at the Sunset Motel. A gasp went through the crowd. Jenna's face went white, and Mark froze, his drink halfway to his lips. But I was just getting started. It's a massive screen behind me, which had been showing a slideshow of our happy memories, flickered to life. It showed screenshots of their texts. It showed date-stamped photos from the PI of them kissing in a parking garage. It showed copies of hotel receipts. The final image was a close-up of Jenna's face taken from a security camera as she checked into a hotel with him just last week. The rooftop was dead silent. Jenna was shaking, not with a tremor this time, but a full-body convulsion of horror. Her colleagues stared. Her friends looked away in shame. I leaned into the microphone. So, to my wife, Jenna, and to her business partner, Mark, I wish you all the best with your new venture. You'll need it. You're both fired. Effective immediately. Mark's boss was in the crowd. I'd made sure of it. And Jenna? I said, my voice dropping to a cold, quiet tone. The divorce papers will be served tomorrow. Right. Don't bother coming home. I set the microphone down and walked away, leaving the ruins of her life smoldering behind me. The legal battle was brutal, but I had all the proof. The infidelity clause in our prenup, the one she'd laughed at when we signed it, was my trump card. She got nothing. Her reputation was destroyed. No one in the Chicago real estate world would touch her. Mark was fired and became a pariah. I sold the condo and moved to a quiet house in the suburbs, far from the ghosts of that life. Sometimes late at night, I think about that moment, the tremor in her hand, the first crack in the facade. It wasn't the end of our love. It was just the end of my illusion. The city lights of Chicago still glitter, but for me, they will always cast the longest, coldest shadows. The end.